Hi guys. Hey ladies. We live. We was back here having a little technical difficulties, but we got through it. Okay. Hey guys. I hope y'all having a great Saturday. I am super excited to have a really good friend of mine, Sophia Tompkins, here. And she's going to be talking to us today about marketing strategies for online. She's been in the business, guys, for 2006 as a marketing strategist. And when I tell y'all, she has helped me build a website. She helps me with my marketing. She helps me set up email campaigns and everything. So I just wanted to honor you and thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come and speak with the ladies today. Can you say hi to the ladies?
You are so welcome. You are welcome. I'm honored to be here. I know it's been like a long time coming, and we've like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And then finally we're here. So, for such a time as this, it's just a blessing to be able to even speak and talk about my journey, because it's been a long journey. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what you've grown so much from when when I first started to now to just things that are going on. Like, it's an honor. It's an honor on both sides. I personally.
Yes, thank you. Hey, ladies, I see y'all out there. Thank y'all for showing up tonight, and thank y'all for continuously showing up and giving us so much love and so much support. It's so many people who are SVP for tonight live, Sophia, and I'm really excited for the information that you're about to give them to excel their business to the next level. So, Sophia, can you tell us some more about yourself, where you grew up, where you're from? Who are you? They don't know. I do.
I know, right? My name is Sophia. I go by Stink the CEO. I consider myself a Jackie of all trades. So when I say that, it's because I possess so many different gifts and I make them work all together for what I do, for kingdom work. To be honest with you, that's everything that I do. I love helping small businesses. I love promoting new products. And so I started out I met you in 2006. I was doing like music promotions, modeling promotions, things of that nature. I really don't consider myself starting in 2006. I started in 2008 when I had my first major client. So I had McDonald's, I had Sheen magazine, all different products. And that's how I started. And I started with brand ambassador work first. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. So brand ambassador work is fun because you get to get out, you get to meet people, you promote new products. I'm talking about these are products that come out before they hit like the general public, like right in the beginning. So you get new stuff first. And that's really what I liked about it. At that time, I think, I used to sell sunglasses on the set. So I've always had a natural niche for marketing, whether it was brand ambassador work or just promoting somebody's business, their small business and I got into doing this where I promote a business from start to finish, from the branding to the marketing to logos to websites. I do it all. Therefore, I call myself a Jackie of all trades. Now, where I'm originally from Florida. I'm from a small town in Florida. I hate to say the name, so I'm just going to say Indian River County. Because if I say the name, you're not gonna know. So Indian River County is where I'm from. I grew up around a bunch of strong women. And it's really what molded me into the person that I am today. I grew up with 2 great grandmothers, 4 grandmothers, and all of the women of the church. So you can imagine what my lifestyle. I went to church 8 days a week. So it's just grew me into the woman that I am today.
Yes, and I am so proud of who you have become. And like Sophia was saying, she has been doing brand ambassador work for years online, for years. So can you just give us 3 tips, 3 marketing strategies for marketing online? Just 3.
Just 3. That's hard to do. So
okay, give us as many as you can because we need it all. we need somebody said marketing and content management are my weakness. I need help, sis. Come on.
Come
You
on.
need help, sis.
So,
Tell us.
okay, so with social media marketing and marketing online, period, the number one rule is consistency. You have to be consistent in whatever you're doing. If you have a lawn business, you need to be showing before and after. You need to be showing that you know how to manicure these lawns. People need to see the fruits of your labor. So consistency is key. If you notice, a lot of major brands, they are consistent from their branding to what they're promoting to their sales. So for me, I look at things like that, especially when a business is starting out. A lot of them don't know what their market strategy is. They don't even know what their target audience is. So one, consistency. Two, promoting to your target audience. That is very, very important. Three, coming up with a marketing strategy. How are you going to get your information to your target audience and how you're going to consistently promote to them? So those are some of the very biggest tips. So consistency, knowing your target audience, and your marketing strategy. And once you have those, you can create your content strategy, your marketing strategy, your content calendar, and you can move forward.
Wow. That's really good. And that's one of the things that Sophia has taught me about is consistency. So you guys consistently see me continuously showing up, and you can consistently see us growing. Consistency is very important because people need to know your name, people need to know your brand, and people need to know what you have to offer. And you shouldn't just aim out there, like I specifically work with women of color. Then the ages are 35 to 45, and that's my target market. So having a target market, like she said, is important as well.
Yep. And actually knowing what, so you say yours is 35 to 45. What do 30, 45-year-olds want? Number one,
Self-care.
women. Right. Self-care, a nap, honey, a nap. A nap, meditation, those things. And some of us, it being from in that range, some of us don't know how to do that. So having those tips, being consistent, you're very consistent with your meditation. You're very consistent with your exercise. Hey, let's be honest. After 35, your metabolism changes. So exercise and having a pretty lady with ambition buddy online to say, hey, I'm going walking, go walking with me. And they're consistently doing this is a help. It's online. I don't even have to see you face to face. So you've created a space for women, pretty ladies at that, who are ambitious to have that moment to meditate and exercise with you. You are their online buddy if they don't know you personally.
Yeah, and that is awesome. And so, can you give them some more tips on marketing strategies online?
You just asked me for three.
We need three more. They're asking for more. They say we struggling. The message say we struggling. They need more.
There's so many different things.
Okay, what about websites?
Say it again.
What about a website?
So websites. Okay, we can start with websites. Websites are important. They're very important, especially if you have an e-commerce site where you're selling product and things of that nature. However, we're living in a very digital age. A lot of people use their social media. That's why social media is so important. Social media is so important because a lot of people go to TikTok, they go to Instagram to see the new things that are going on. They go to Facebook. Women in the age range that you cater to, 35 to 45, they're on Facebook and Instagram. There's not a lot of people on TikTok. Now, TikTok is very good for creatives. I'll give you that. So those different things, you don't have to be a big fish in a big pond. You can be a big fish in a small pond and you can dominate. So once you find your niche, once you find your target audience, once you find your tribe, once you find your online buddies, you guys can conquer it all together. And so with that being said, that's where the consistency falls in place. So yes, you can have a website, and now Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they offer ways where you can purchase right there on their apps if you set it up correctly. So in regards to that, I understand that the social media world for some business owners can be very confusing. And for me, it's easy. So I have to remind myself that, hey, not everybody understands social media like I understand most social media. I understand exactly how it works. I understand how to read my insights. I understand how to attack the algorithm.
Can you tell us what is an insight?
Insight. So basically, what happens is you're being tracked. I mean, in so many words, you're being tracked. So with your Instagram, for instance, if you have a creator profile or even a regular profile, it comes with insights. So what it does, it measures who's looking at your page, how long they're looking at your page, what days they're looking at your page. It'll actually give you your target audience, because these are the people that are looking at your stuff. It'll actually give you your hashtags, what hashtags are working for you, what hashtags are bringing people to your page. So you want to use your insights and you want to narrow that down. You want to look at your insights because it gives you facts about who is looking at your stuff. And that's what you want, because you want them to consistently come back to your page because you have something to offer. So when you look at your insights is basically facts about your page, everything in regards to who's looking, what time they're looking, things of that nature. That lets you know what time you need to be posting. That lets you know what age range. Again, what hashtags. So that lets you know what hashtags you should be using as well. This is going to draw the people to your page because you want to draw people to your page.
And someone just said, how can we change the algorithms?
So with the algorithm right now, in regards to Instagram algorithm, you need to post 3 to 5 times a day, and you want to utilize your reels. You want to utilize your stories. So you want to, and you also want to utilize carousels as well. If you have information that you want to put out, a lot of people respond to carousels. A lot of people respond to reels.
Can you tell us what is a carousel?
Okay, so a carousel is the imagery. So sometimes you'll see something like, you'll see a question. It's a series of images. And when you scroll through, you see, whatever people are posting. So for me, I have one that wants to know more about monetizing your brand. Step 1 will be the next carousel. Step 2, step 3, step 4. And then at the end, I might say, follow my page for more information.
So it's like the gallery of pictures on Instagram, and you're just giving them.
Well, it could be tips, it could be pictures. It's more so used for lead generation. It's used to lead people to information on your page. You give something and you get something, if that makes sense.
Okay. And can you talk about email campaigning on social media, collecting email addresses and email campaigning?
Okay, so it's very good to collect emails. Now in the age range, I'm going to use you for example. In the age range 35 to 45, we do check our emails. Younger people do not check their emails. So, and sometimes older people will check their emails, but it's a way to get out your information. Whether it's an encouraging word, or you have a sale coming up, or things of that nature. And it's also a way to collect information about your client. So for me personally, I'm in my email all day because I get consultation requests. If anybody knows Victoria's Secret, Fashion Nova, Bath and Body Works, they're very good at email marketing. They're going to send you a sale. And they're going to send it to you on time. They're going to send it to you before a holiday. They're going to send you a random one. JCPenney has sales every week, but nobody notices that. But they have sales every week. So it's a very good marketing tool. Building your email list is a very good marketing tool. Another marketing tool would be SMS, which is text messaging, because that gets directly to your customer because it's directly to their phone. Whether it's an encouraging word, if you just want to send an encouraging word every day, people like stuff like that. I know I like to start my day with an encouraging word. And even if I open an email that say, hey, sis, I'm thinking of you today. Here's a virtual hug. Those things actually make my day. So email marketing, gathering your customers' email is very, very important too. That also segues to your social media marketing as well, because it ties into everything. It's also a part of your analytics as well. So your insights. So how many people came to my social media platform from me sending out this email? How many people went to my website from my social media platform? You want to know how people are getting to you so you know how to get to them.
Okay. So, and another question. So, what would be some benefits of hiring a social media marketer, and what do you do as a social media marketer and marketing strategist?
Okay. So for me, I like to get your brand together from start to finish. So I consider myself now, I know we use the term marketing strategist, which is a part of it, but I'm also a digital media producer. So I produce your brand. I produce what you look like. I put my stink on you. I want you to be funky when I finish with you, because at the end of the day, you have to be set apart from other people. When I touch your stuff, I don't want it to be the same as everybody else.
Got
Because
you.
say it again.
I said, got you. You got to be
Right.
different than everybody else, because we're getting so much information coming from everywhere. And it's like, what is separating you from the rest on social media?
Right.
Because people can
Right.
go listen to anybody at any time. So, what
Right.
is making you different?
Yeah. So my job is to enhance your brand. That's my job. That is my job. That's what I like to do. Excuse me. And that's what, it's like your baby. Your business is your baby. You have
Mhm.
your baby, you don't just give your baby to anybody. You don't give your baby any kind of food. You don't give your baby any kind of formula, and you don't dress your baby any kind of way. So when you hand your baby off to me, I'm going to take care of your baby if it was my own. So that's what I do in a nutshell. Now, in regards to what a social media marketing do, I specialize in social media automation because it takes the stress off of coming up with content, because as you all know, creating content especially if you're doing 3 to 5 posts a day, that is 35 posts per week. That's 35 different things that you have to come up with. Personally, I like to batch create. Batch creating is when you create a whole bunch of stuff and you schedule it. That's what I do for my clients. I
And
come
can
up
you
with
give them one site? Can you give them one site that you use? Because I know one of the sites that you gave me was Hootsuite, and it works well.
Yeah. So you have Hootsuite, you have Planoly, you have Buffer, you have Later. These are all platforms that you can use to schedule out your things. However, if you're not using it correctly, if you're not using it in regards to your insight, if you're not using it, I don't want to say using it correctly, you can use it, but you want to use it and you want to use it to your best of your ability. You want to make sure you're maximizing on what you're using it for. Yeah, you can schedule posts all day, but if you don't schedule them in a way where they're going to get to your customer or your client or your audience or your niche, then you just out there posting stuff. So what I do is I take your accounts, I look at your accounts, I analyze your analytics, I look at your insights, I look at your brand, I ask you where you're trying to take this, because at the end of the day, while I'm going to take your baby, it is your vision. I have to do what you want to do, and then I'm going to enhance it. My thing is I'm going to give you what you want and more. Because if I put my stink on it, that means it has my name on it. That means it's now my baby too. I'm now TT Stink the CEO. So basically, when you hire a social media expert or a digital marketing or a content creator for you, it's taking stress off you as the business owner. As a business owner, you don't have time to be creating content. Some people do, some people don't. Especially creatives. If you're creating content, when do you have time to, let's say you're a candle maker, when do you have time to create candles? There's so much to being a business owner,
Yeah.
and you want to hire somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. Everybody has their own genius. I don't know how to make candles. Therefore, I go buy my candles. Okay. So I know how to do digital marketing. So I stay within my lane. And as a business owner, you have to be able to, do what you do. You have your geniuses, you have your genius, but you can hire somebody that has another genius. You can have a good overview of it, but you want to hire somebody that's going to be able to do those particular things and do it and maximize, because at the end of the day, you have to have your time. Personally, I have to have my time, even as a creative. Like I took last week off because, with batch creating different customers and things of that nature, I even get bogged down. So that's where self-care comes in. You have to have structure as a business owner. So if you can alleviate certain stresses, that's where I come in as your social media expert. So if you got your social media going, the only thing that needs to happen, the customers will come to you
Yeah,
based upon your social
absolutely.
media.
I love the way that you talk about building a team, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying is you need a marketing strategist on your team so they
Do.
can take your vision that you have, because it's a big vision and we want to do this and we want to do that and we have that idea, and they put it all together for your social media so it'll
Right.
be effective. So when your customers come, you already have social media that has the content that they are looking for, right?
Mhm. Right.
So one of the things that you mentioned with self-care, I know you're a busy woman, and another thing that you do is you have a nonprofit. We're gonna get to talking about that. But what is it that you do as far as self-care, and who supports you, like when you're having a stressful time with business and everything?
So, okay, so self-care is very important, especially for a creative. And me being a creative and a business owner, I go through it a lot because sometimes I have to scale back from the business owner so I can create. Sometimes I have to scale back from the creative so I can do the business owner. So what I do when I get bogged down, and I know I get bogged down because I can't create, is I stop, I take a rest. I'll either go eat. That's food is my friendship. I like to cook. And then sometimes I just like to get out of my own space because I have my own studio inside of my home. Sometimes I have to leave my home. So I'll go talk to random people. Like I'll go to the grocery store and do random stuff at the grocery store. Like be like, how you meet somebody, you be like, hey, how you doing? When you make that eye contact, now that we have masks on, now I just do weird stuff for real now. But like I might go to the grocery store and be like, hey, you know, but
Overexcited, yeah.
it makes a person's day. You never know what kind of day a person is having. And a lot of times when I'm down, if I can make somebody smile and if I can make somebody laugh, it kind of helps me a little bit. Like I like to help people. So helping people actually helps me, if that makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
when I get down, when I get unsure of myself, sometimes I get unsure of myself sometimes because sometimes I get nervous. Like I have a major client on the table and I'm completely nervous. I go to my friends and I'll tell them, hey, I'm struggling today.
Yeah.
Kiara, Coach, she has pulled me out of the dumps at times and she didn't even know it. Like, and of course I'll tell her later. So my support system are some of my friends who could recognize when, okay, Sophia is not, she's not happy today. What can we do? I have a friend Janza that will, when I'm bogged down in process, she'll just call me and we don't even have to talk about anything, but she'll just sit with me on the phone while I create. If I
Wow.
get stuck in process, she'll just sit there. We don't have to talk about nothing. She's just on the phone, and it kind of helps me through the day. So having a person who knows me and can
Yeah.
recognize when, okay, Sophia, you need a break. You need a
Yeah.
break. You're gonna
Yeah.
take a break. Put your computer down. And a lot of times my friends will fuss at me. they'll fuss at me to get, because I don't like for nobody to be mad, angry at me. So they'll fuss at me, and then that kind of gets me going. So having people who actually understand me as a person is important to me. And
Gosh.
not many people understand me as a person, because let's be honest, not a lot of people take the time to get to know the person for real. They just look at surface level. I tell people all the time, I'm like an onion, and sometimes I can be a rose with thorns. Which one you want?
Jeez.
I'm just saying. And I'm just being honest, but it takes real people in your life to
Yeah.
actually, it takes real people in your life that you
Yeah.
can consider your support system, because you can't share everything with everybody.
Yeah.
And sometimes people pray for your downfall, but when you have that circle of people who understand you and that can support you and bring you
Yeah.
out, it is amazing. Like, throughout this last year, I've been able to figure out the people in my life, and I am so grateful. Like, I am beyond grateful, because while I'm most of the time the strong person, these people have been able to step up for me. And I don't
Absolutely.
want to cry, but you having that support system. So if you don't have a support system, by all means, this young lady right here is definitely a great support system. She will meditate with you, she will pray with you, and she will encourage you through she will encourage you through it all with a smile. And then she'll go and she'll take her own self-care day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's all about, right? It's building a community of support, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
as women, we have our hands on everything. Everybody need us for something. Work need us, the business need us, the kids need us, the cousins need us, the family need us. Everybody needs us. And just taking that time for ourselves is so
Mhm.
important. And like she said, that's why we are always so encouraging in the group. And we're so uplifting in the group, because we know how difficult it is for business owners and for women alone.
Yes.
Just getting through
Yes.
the day. And someone had a question about content. Oh, they said, where do you go on IG to look at insights?
So it's gonna be in your settings. It's gonna
Okay.
be in your settings. Or yeah, it's in your settings. That's where it's at.
So do you think that they should definitely have a business Instagram page and not a personal?
Um, Yeah, if you're running a business, you want a business Instagram page because you get perks for that. I mean, if you're running a business, what do you need a personal page for?
Mhm.
Unless you just want to share your life. A lot of you want to share your life, that's what you want to do. But I
But the
mean,
importance of social media and the social media marketing is to make profit. So you want to post for profit, right? So you want to post to generate leads, to generate profit, right?
depends on your business. Yeah, it depends on your business. So for me, I like to give out a lot of tips and strategies. And that, to be honest with you, that's what brings my clients, because I'm giving out information. I mean, the information is there. I've taken years. I've been in this business since 2008. So I'm well versed in this particular in this genre. I know social media. I know how it works. I know how to create, and I'm still enhancing. I'm self-taught on everything. So, I mean, the information is there. I like to give out tips. I like to give out hacks. One, because I like for people to understand, you know, how to do it. Not everybody knows how to do it. I like to give out different tips. I also do a little inspiration as well, because like I said, I like to help people. Helping people actually helps me. So I tell my story through my IG. It's not just me doing social media strategy. It's also me giving inspirational words, especially for people with businesses. But with that being said, when you have a business or you have a ministry or you have something that you're inspiration, or you started self-care because why, you like self-care, you that's what you like to do, you like to help people. So
Well,
it's
I know
it's a
for me,
ministry. Hmm?
and part of my story with starting self care was suffering with depression, suffering with anxiety, suffering with workplace anxiety. So I had a lot of mental health things that was going on.
Mhm.
So I had to prioritize my self care over everything because I was breaking down.
right? And you turned it into a business. I turned my love for new products into marketing, a marketing strategist. Look at where I'm at today. I was selling sunglasses. Now I sell business concepts.
Wow, that's amazing. So I want to thank you so much for coming on and speaking with the ladies today. We'll definitely have you on again for sure, for sure, for sure, to give the ladies some more tips. And one of the things that I wanted you to speak on before you leave is your nonprofit. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with your nonprofit today?
Okay, so the name of my nonprofit is Nade Resorts and Transitions Community Organization. My goal is to build a resource based community for victims of domestic violence, previously incarcerated military veterans. I'm going to start with the military veterans first. So, my father retired from the military. He suffers from PTSD. When he came back to the United States, he really didn't have like the corporate world said that he didn't have the skills, right? But we all know that military veterans actually have a lot of skills. You know what I'm saying? So transitioning from the military lifestyle back to civilian lifestyle kind of left him displaced a little bit. And that actually ignited his PTSD. So around 2016, I was like, okay, how can I help people for real? So I began to do a little bit of research and resource-based community. This is where you basically live off the land. So what I want to do is build a homeless community shelters that are sustainable, as well as it'll give people the necessary skills that they need so they can survive. So we're going to be planting orchards, we're going to be planting fruits and vegetables, we're going to be learning about aquaculture, so hydroponics and hydroponics and aquaponics, and then also learning about alternative energies within this community so it can sustain itself. Now, the way I scale the business and what the goal is to actually people who donate to the business will actually receive fresh fruits and vegetables from the community every month. So the goal is to actually build this community for this particular displaced community, put them somewhere where they're safe, where they're going to learn, where they can receive sustainable practices so they can be able to live. Because at the end of the day, people need structure. They need somewhere safe. They need a hand up, not a hand out. And a
Yes.
lot of the practices that people have, like the halfway houses and things of that nature, yeah, they try to help, but what is helping somebody with their resume going to do if they can't go and get a job, or
Right.
they can't eat, or they can't learn to live outside of a structure that they've already been in? And so that's the goal. Right now, I am actually planting trees in my own yard right now so I can start to get the fruit so I can start passing that out to the homeless. Normally, what I do is what's called a homeless pizza party. So I go throughout the city of Atlanta and I pass out slices of pizza to the homeless. Like whoever I see on the street, I might pass them a whole box and things like that, just to make sure they have a nice meal for the night. So it's pizza, water, sometimes candy, sometimes cookies, depending on what people are actually donating. And that's how I actually get it out there.
Wow, Sophia, that is phenomenal. Like that is amazing. And that's definitely kingdom work.
Yes,
Okay?
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
So what
So
we're
right
gonna
now,
do when this live ends, we're gonna put all of Sophia's information from her nonprofit, which you guys can donate to because she's doing a live fundraiser, and you can plant a tree, and also for her business with marketing strategies. Is there anything else that you would want to leave the lady about the importance of social media marketing? Anything else?
yes. So the importance of social media marketing: stay consistent, be consistent, don't give up. Somebody's going to see you. God gave you a vision. He gave it to you for a reason. So don't give up. Stay consistent. Keep putting your stuff out there. You may not get a sale today. You might get a sale tomorrow. But know this, that eventually you're going to get there. Because if God gave it to you, he gave it to you for a reason. That's pretty much it.
Yes, thank you so much. And I love the way that you said somebody will see you. I just want to say, ladies, we see you. Y'all are out there doing amazing. We see you, okay? So keep going, keep moving forward, keep trusting in God, and keep believing. Keep believing, and it's already done. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. That's it. We still live.
Yeah.